What protects civilian infrastructure from destruction in conflict? Imagine a city where hospitals, water supplies, and power plants are safe even during a war. How is that possible? Let's find out what keeps civilian infrastructure protected during conflicts. International humanitarian law is the main protector. It includes the Geneva Conventions, their additional protocols, and customary laws. These rules set clear limits on what can be targeted in war, they requiring parties to tell apart military targets from civilian objects. Civilian infrastructure like homes, schools, hospitals, and water systems must not be attacked unless they are used for military purposes. If they are used for military reasons, they can lose their protected status temporarily. A key rule is the destruction of property that is not justified by military necessity. This means civilian infrastructure should only be destroyed if it is absolutely necessary for the war effort. Even then, attacks must be proportional and take precautions to avoid harming civilians or damaging other civilian objects. Parties involved in conflict must take all feasible steps to verify targets before attacking. This includes choosing means and methods of warfare that reduce harm to civilians and their essential services. For example, using precision weapons or avoiding attacks during busy times can help. Objects vital to civilian survival are explicitly protected. These include food supplies, water installations, and power infrastructure. Attacking these objects recklessly or intentionally destroying them can be considered war crimes. Such acts cause severe suffering and are against international law. In practice, this means that parties must not target civilian infrastructure unless it is being used for military purposes. When civilian objects are used by the enemy, attacks must be proportionate and precautions taken to limit civilian harm. Humanitarian access to repair and maintain infrastructure should be allowed and supported. Deliberate or widespread destruction of civilian infrastructure, especially if it causes great suffering, can be classified as war crimes or crimes against humanity. These rules apply to all parties, whether they are states or non-state armed groups. Violations can lead to international accountability. In summary, the protection of civilian infrastructure during conflict relies on the principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution. These principles are part of the Geneva Conventions and related treaties, all aimed at safeguarding civilian life and essential services during war.